ابيض يا الطاش يا المعنى خط بكتابك الترحيب لو سرابك ليلك وجنة بالدجا في الليل تسري.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Brothers and sisters, respected elders, guests, friends, everyone, I bid you the greeting of believers, the greeting of the Anbiya of Allah Azza wa Jal, the greeting of Al-Jannah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm your brother in Islam, Jalal ibn Sa'id, and this is another episode of Al-Fitrah's Fundamentals of F1, Matters of the Heart. Fundamentals of Tawheed was yesterday, but obviously we didn't have yesterday's lesson, so we missed yesterday. We start today, inshallah. With that being said, my brothers and sisters, I just wanted to say that the time had changed from the previous time to 12:30 noon. And I know the splash screen, we're going to cut that out from this video, but we had a splash screen that showed we start at 1:30. That is incorrect. We start at 12:30 on Saturday and on Sunday. And obviously, as time changes in the future, that will adjust between 12:30 and 1:30, inshallah. With that being said, my brothers and sisters, today is a day that we get to take away from the dunya, the rat race, the chasing of problems, the problems chasing us, the issues we have. We all need a break. And you can take a break having a cup of coffee, going out to a coffee shop. You can take a break going for a walk. You can take a break going out and doing something. But the best break a believer has in his life, the best break one can take is to ponder and reflect and go back to Allah, an act of worship. And these gatherings, these halaqas, are one of the best ways to take your mind off of things. You see, first and foremost, from the day we were born, we were crying and complaining about something we needed or wanted. And then when we became young children, we carried on with that complaint. And as we grew as teenagers, we needed more. And there was always stress and the problems increase. Stress is not from now until things get better. There is no time things get better. There is good times and bad times. And both times there is stress and worry and concern and fear. When there is good times, you're afraid of those good times leaving you. And when time is bad, obviously you're wondering, am I ever going to get over this? It's consistent and it's normal. This is why the Prophet Muhammad, the messenger of Allah, Mahabubullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in a beautiful, authentic narration, he says that ajib, strange are the affairs of a true pious believer. When things are very good, he's not overly excited about it because he knows it's going to end. But when things are really bad, he doesn't get brought down and broken by it because he knows things will improve. He is constantly in the middle. Strange is this believer because he is connected to his Lord and he knows. Those who know and those who don't know, are they the same? No. So when you find this piece of information out and you realize that your life from the cradle to the grave is stress, worry, and concern, that's not your thing that you should be afraid of. That is norm. It's how you deal with it and how you cope, the mechanisms that you use to cope with those stressful times and those stressful things. So you want to cope better. You want to connect to Allah. You want, subhanAllah. I want to tell you a quick story, okay? So Sheikh Salim, very dear brother of mine, very good friend, mashallah, beautiful brother. I've loved him dearly for years. And mashallah, his lectures, his reminders, Yaqeen Institute in America, amazing. So he has this guy named Brian drive up from southern Louisiana all the way to his town. It's quite a few hours away. And he arrived this last Friday, 2 days ago, and they took a picture together and he posted it. And he said, this is Brian. He's driven from southern Louisiana all the way over, I think he's in Dallas and he was in a masjid and he came to see him. And that's where they prayed Jum'ah. Afterwards, he came and talked to Sheikh Umar. And at 3:30 p.m., I believe he said, he took a shahada. And that's amazing. I thought, wait, Allahu Akbar. He came for Jum'ah, but he took a shahada after. So the story is that Sheikh Umar was giving lectures on the stories of the angels, the malaika. And there's a lot of people I knew. There's a lot of people, even myself when I was younger. It's natural to believe in God. But if you don't know religion, if you don't know the faith, You make stuff up like, oh, my great granddad comes and visits me sometime. I don't know. People make up stuff. And angels is one of the things people make up, even though it's true. Angels are around us. So they think there must be an angel looking after me. There must be an angel. So he loved these series on the angels and the concept that the angel protects you every day if you say this prayer. So Brian was doing it. He wanted angels with him every day. And then he saw some lectures. He knew them inside and out. In one of the lectures, he said that Sheikh Omar was talking about backbiting and how the angels know when you gossip or when you listen to gossip. So Brian stopped doing that. He wanted to just focus. He was embarrassed knowing angels are watching him. And these two things changed how he felt in a matter of time. And he started to realize there's more. I could be a different person. And so he went and became Muslim. Allahu Akbar, how Allah guides. Look at that in terms of guidance. And Allahu Akbar, Allah is truly the only one that guides any way he wishes. But also, my brothers and sisters, look at the coping mechanism. This was a coping mechanism. So he found a way to cope with what he felt and the issues of backbiting and gossip and people and problems. His coping mechanism was incredible. And everyone will invent their own coping mechanism. But when you learn that there is the best coping mechanism ever, wouldn't you like to know? The coping mechanism that gives you the most rewards with the least amount of pain and stress. And that is the coping mechanism of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that he taught us. He shared with us. He told us, this is how you cope. And the halaqas that we have every weekend, my brothers and sisters, is a great coping mechanism. It's a great time for you to bring your family together every Saturday, every Sunday, gather around the big screen and take notes and write things down and have tea and biscuits and discuss with your children. Treat each other like you're guests in your own house. Don't take it for granted. You know, when guests come over, we all become hypocrites. I like to say hypocrites because let's call it what it is. Guests come in, clean up everything. Otherwise, we're messy. Wipe everything down. Quick, get this, get that. And then when guests show up, the best dishes, the best snacks. Surely my children, my family deserve that more, no? But somehow we give more to the guest, which is the nature of a believer. It's beautiful. And the guest comes and we treat them the best and they leave. This is how we should do our Saturday morning or Sunday morning halaqas with our family. We should have tea, we should have biscuits, we should have dates, we should have zamzam, and we should be spiritual. And we should, as Allah says, I am to my believer whatever he thinks of me. This is the same God, the same Allah that says in the Quran, whatever you imagine of me, that's not it. That's not me. So in one sense, he is talking to those who are trying to imagine a man with a beard in the sky and the clouds. Allah is not a man. Or people that are imagining things about what Allah could be, a light, a nur. That's not Allah. That Allah is a king on a throne. Yes, he is, but not the king and throne that you know. But on the other hand, Allah is saying to us, whatever you imagine of me, that is what I will be to you. Now, this is a different kind of statement. This is talking about Allah, he's going to punish me. Allah is angry with me. I've really let Allah down. I've really let myself down. You can't let Allah down. You let yourself down. I've really disappointed my Lord. You don't disappoint Allah. You make him angry or you please him. You make a decision. You choose one or the other. Disappointment is in us. These are weaknesses. Allah is free from all imperfections, all weaknesses. So having said that, the coping mechanism is a beautiful way to when you think about Allah, he is whatever you want him to be. You know, he is the most merciful. Why think of him as someone who's going to punish you? Now he is going to forgive me. Why think about him as someone who is going to be your enemy? Now he's my best friend. He loves me. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. You know, I entrust my everything to Allah. And he is the best of entrusters, you know. Alillahi tawakkalna. And he is the best to take care of all my affairs. I put him with him. So you can cope with your stress and anxiety and issues in this manner. It is a much better manner like this. And subhanAllah, my brothers and sisters, Sheikh Salim is here with us. So inshallah, without further ado, I just wanted to give us a little taster that every Saturday, every Sunday, have your children, have your family dress up, feel nice, wake up, have tea, and read a few hadith from Riyadh al-Salihin, or as Sheikh Salim has always told us, do the halaqah, your family halaqah, right before this one, so you're ready for it. And then have your notebooks ready, inshallah. And without further ado, Sheikh Salim, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Afwan Sheikh, I think your mic is still on mute. Yes, there we go. Can we just unmute that? MashaAllah, tabarakallah. There we go.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh Salim?
Allahumma laka alhamd, alhamdulillah. I had technical issues, that's why I was late.
Not a problem, Sheikh Salim. Just give us a big smile. It'll make up for everything. We love your smile so much. Subhanallah. May Allah bless you, Sheikh Salim. Tafadal. The class is yours, inshallah. Bismillah.
Jazakallah khair. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna alhamdulillah. Nahmaduhu. Wa nasta'inuhu. Wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina. ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى خير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, today is our weekly class, Al-Raqa'iq, Matters of the Heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala soften our hearts. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purify our hearts. And may Allah fill our hearts with the Iman and Taqwa. Ameen. The hadith we are going through, inshallah, talks about an important issue, which is the issue of amana. The amana that Allah offered to the heavens, the mountains, and they preferred not to bear the amana. As Allah said, إِنَّ عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ فأبين أن يحملنها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. So this amana which Allah offered to the heavens, to the mountains, to the earth, samawati wal ard, and the mountains, each one said, I don't want to bear it. I can't. I cannot bear this amount. I rather stay as you created me, my Lord. So without free will to choose between options and alternatives, I prefer this. So on the day of resurrection, I will not be held accountable. That's why they preferred not to bear the amana, because the amana here is the amana of the taklif. The amana of the taklif is to bear the responsibility that you will be held accountable before Allah, and that you want to be having free will, and then you'll be held accountable for all your actions. So this is the amana. it is heavy load. And because man is naive, human being is naive and ignorant and arrogant, these are inseparable and inherent qualities of man. He thinks he knows when he doesn't. He's arrogant. He harms himself without knowing. This is our nature. So Allah offered the amana. Allah said, "A'udna al-amana." Oh heavens, do you want to bear the amana? No, my Lord. I prefer not. They are not disobeying Allah because Allah is offering them. So it's giving them the choice, the option. How about you, O earth? No. I am happy like this. Mountains, you are very strong, my Lord. It is heavier than I cannot bear it. Man flex his muscles. Yes, I can do it. This is the nature of man. He flexed his muscles. Man bore it. حملها الإنسان. I'm willing. Then Allah said, إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. Miskin. ظلوم and jahul. Oh, they go together. Two qualities. ظلوم and just to himself. My dear brothers and sisters, when we commit wrong things, when we make mistakes, when we sin, whom do we harm in the first place? We harm ourselves. And this shows our ignorance. How come that we harm ourselves? Because we are ignorant, jahul, and ظلوم. So we are unjust to ourselves. Naturally, a person loves himself. And if you love yourself, you should not torture yourself, should not harm yourself. But the reality, we do harm ourselves. We do harm ourselves. So when you sin, you harm yourself. If you love yourself, you should say, no, I don't want to harm myself. I don't want to go to the blazing fire. I don't want to go to hell. Because I love myself. I should work so that I will be in Jannah. Because I love myself. I'm selfish. But the reality, you do the opposite. You claim you love yourself, and then you destroy yourself and you harm yourself. See the contradictions? We contradict ourselves. That we think we love ourselves and then we harm ourselves. وَحَمَلْهَا الْإِنسَانِ. So now, he was ready, willing to bear the amana. Because Allah offered. He said, I am ready for it. Okay, you blame no one but yourself. And Allah mentioned that You are miskeen, you don't know the consequences. Had you known the consequences, you would not have dared to say, I'm ready for it. But you are jahul, ignorant. And dhaloom, unjust to yourself. This is the nature of man. Keep this in mind, my dear brothers and sisters, that you as a human being, you are jahul and dhaloom. Jahul and dhaloom. And the shaitan uses these. He knows these two weak links and he hits you there. He approaches you through your ignorance. He praises you and tells you, you are, a free thinker, you know. So you become arrogant. And you don't accept the truth. Because you are jahul, and the shaitan is fooling you and telling you, no, you are brilliant, you are genius, you are this and that. Until you breathe your last while you are swimming in that ocean of arrogance and ignorance. And now the shaitan rejoices and smiles. I did it. I got you. You will be there in the hellfire forever. Forever. And that's what the shaitan wants. Shaitan wants human beings to be in hellfire with him forever. إنما يدعو حزبه ليكونوا من أصحاب السعير. So he calls his party, his followers. Why? What for? ليكونوا, so that they will be من أصحاب السعير, the companions in the hellfire, inmates of the hellfire and dwellers of the hellfire. Recently, one murtad passed away. And throughout his life, insulting Allah, ridiculing the deen, mocking, making mockery of the deen. And in one of his talks, he said, I'm a kafir, I'm not a Muslim, I'm a kafir, okay? So he died. His family, they wanted to bury him in the Muslim cemetery, graveyard. The Muslims refused. He's a kafir, so he should not be buried. And he is saying he's a kafir. They bought his body for janazah. No, we cannot pay for the kafir. He's a kafir. So no Muslim prayed janazah for him, and he was not buried among the Muslims. So this, an example. Shaitan fooled him until he got him. And now he is going to face the consequences. And the family, why? Why do you want him to be buried among the Muslims? He's a kafir. But because it is there down, they hope. Maybe something will happen to him. Maybe he will be forgiven. They hope that maybe during the janazah prayer, Allah will accept the supplication of one. So that's why they were insisting But alhamdulillah, the Muslims refused. The reason I mention this, that to give you an example, how the shaitan fools you, fools the Son of Man. And he will not leave you until you leave Islam. So remember your nature, dhaloom and jahul, ignorant, unjust and ignorant. The hadith which we are going through, inshallah, talks about amana. The amana, which is in Bukhari. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا ضيعت الأمانة فانتظر الساعة. فانتظر الساعة. قال كيف إضاعتها يا رسول الله؟ قال إذا أسند الأمر إلى غير أهله فانتظر الساعة. Beautiful hadith. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when honesty is lost, amana is lost, trust is lost. When honesty is lost, then wait for the hour. It was asked, how will honesty be lost, O Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said, when authority is given to those who do not deserve it, then wait for the hour. We see this before our eyes. We see it. And this is one of the prophecies which shows the concrete proof and evidence and material evidence for the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and which shows the honesty of the compilers of hadith, Bukhari, Muslim, Nasa'i, because they have reported things which happened. Many of the prophecies they reported happened, which means these things were heard from the Prophet ﷺ, not concocted and made by them, because they happened. And you see the prophecies are unfolding, and you can see their fulfillment before your eyes. So in this beautiful hadith, Abu Hurairah asked about the amana. He's reporting that the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا ضِيَّعَتِ الْأَمَانَةِ, the amana, the trust, being honest, of telling the truth, conveying the truth, giving what has been given to you as a trust. This is amana. So when you lose that, people are dishonest, not trustworthy, you cannot trust them, then wait for the hour. إذا ضيعت الأمانة فانتظر الساعة. When the amana is lost, then wait for the hour. Abu Hurairah asked, how do I know that amana got lost? Amana is lost. How can I know that? O Messenger of Allah. the Prophet ﷺ told him, إِذَا أُسْنِدَ الْأَمْرُ إِلَى غَيْرِ أَهْلِهِ. When the ruling, when the hukum, when the authority is given to those who do not deserve it, those who are not qualified, those who do not fear Allah, they are put in such positions. Qualified ones are isolated, marginalized, put in the margin. Who are in such positions? Who are the decision makers? Those who do not deserve to be in such place. So this is the sign of losing the amana and the loss of the amana. Because this person who's not qualified, who's not trustworthy, the moment he is placed in such position, he misuses that authority for his own benefit. Though before being elected or chosen, he gave many promises. He gave many promises to the masses, to the people, electors. At the moment he is there, all these promises, they vanish. إذا أسند الأمر إلى غير أهله, the authority is given to those who do not deserve it. انتظر الساعة, then wait for the hour. Because this amana is lost. The amana of being placed in the authority to become an authority, authorized person, decision maker, ruler, governor. This is an amana. An obligation was given to you. You deceive the people. The people think that you are an honest person. But now they discover the reality that you are a dishonest person. So this is a sign of the losing the amana. The other hadith from Bukhari as well. حدثنا حذيفة قال حدثنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حديثين رأيت أحدهما وأنا أنتظر الآخر. حدثنا أن الأمانة نزلت في جذر قلوب الرجال ثم علموا من القرآن ثم علموا من السنة. وحدثنا عن رفعها قال ينام الرجل النومة فتقبض الأمانة من قلبه فيظل أثرها مثل أثر الوقت ثم ينام النومة فتقبض فيبقى أثرها مثل المجد كجمر دحريته على رجلك فنفطا فتراه منتبرا وليس فيه شيء فيصبح الناس يتبايعون فلا يكاد أحد يؤدي الأمانة. لا إله إلا الله. فيقال إن في بني فلان رجلا أمينا ويقال للرجل ما أعقله وما أظرفه وما أجلده وما في قلبه مثقال حبة خردل من إيمان ولقد أتى علي زمان وما أبالي أيكم بايعت لئن كان مسلما رده الإسلام إن كان نصرانيا رده علي ساعيه فأما اليوم فما كنت بايع إلا فلانا وفلانا. The meaning. I want you to focus on this hadith. Narrated Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. Hudayfa is Amin as-Sirr, the one that the Prophet ﷺ would entrust him and confide in him and tells him, he would tell him many secrets. He informed him about the names of the hypocrites. This is Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. Hudayfa, who used to ask the Prophet ﷺ about evil only. If most of the ahadith of fitan, afflictions, tribulations, that will happen in the future were reported by Hudayfa because he was asking all the time. If the Prophet ﷺ said something good is going to happen, he would say, is there any evil will follow it? So Hudayfa radiallahu anhu said, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam narrated to us, he told us two narrations, one of which I have seen happening, and I'm waiting for the other. He narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam related and mentioned to them that honesty was preserved in the roots of the hearts of men in the beginning. That this is the amana, Allah placed it in the roots, in the root of the heart, in the bottom of the heart. And then they learned it, they learned the amana from the Quran. The Quran commands us to deliver the amana and to addu al-amanat ila ahliha. So whatever you are entrusted with, you have to give it to their honor. You give the amana to those who entrusted you. From the Quran, and then they learned it also from the Prophet's Sunnah, the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. What the Prophet ﷺ praised those who are trustworthy. As-Sadiq al-Amin, the honest trader, the Tajir al-Amin, the honest merchant, trader, businessman, he will be with the prophets. So the Sunnah taught the Sahaba and mentioned the importance of the amana. The Quran did the same thing. He also told us about its disappearance, saying, a man will go to sleep whereupon honesty will be taken away from his heart. Subhanallah. You go to sleep, you get up, the amana is removed. A man will go to sleep whereupon honesty will be taken away from his heart. In the morning, he is dealing with the people honestly. He slept, next day, a different person. A different person. A man will go to sleep, whereupon honesty will be taken from his heart. And only its trace will remain. The trace of the amana will remain in his heart, resembling the traces of fire. You know, if someone was burned, there will be scars or blisters, resembling the traces of fire. He then will sleep, whereupon the remainder of the honesty. You see, the amana will be removed gradually. He then will sleep, whereupon the remainder of honesty, the remainder of the amana trust will also be taken away from his heart. And its trace will resemble a blister which is raised over the surface of the skin. You know, when you have a blister, it will be swollen. Okay. You see something on top of the skin, raised above the skin. When an ember touches one's foot, if hot charcoal fell on your skin, you'll have that blister. When an ember touches one's foot, and in fact, this blister does not contain anything. You can burst it and it is empty, which means, okay, there's no amana in the heart anymore. It is just a swell, but no substance, nothing inside. It is empty. La ilaha illallah. So there will come a day. See, this is what the Prophet ﷺ mentioned 1400 years ago. So there will come a day when people will deal in business with each other, but there will hardly be any trustworthy persons among them. Hardly any trustworthy person among them. This is a fact. This is a fact. Go to the court and see the complaints. I gave him this. We agreed this. No, he didn't. They deny. I trusted him. Of course, the judge cannot do anything. As they say, the law does not protect the fools. Because the judge in the Sharia, in the law, Islamic law, will ask for proof. Because the onus of the proof lies on the one who complains. You complain, so say, he owes me this much. I lent him this. Okay, produce the proof, the evidence. No, I trusted him, there were no documents. Sorry. I can't do anything for you. The only thing the qadi or the judge can do is ask the one who denies, okay, the defendant, the one who's accused, to take an oath saying, no, by Allah, he didn't give me anything. And that's it. But the onus of the proof lies on the one who claims that so and so owes me this much of money. So that's why when you lend someone money, or you borrow from someone the money, document it. Make them sign. Have witness. So that you have official document, just in case he denies. Well, you know, do you doubt me? No, I don't doubt you. I trust you. But please, this is what Allah commands. Allah commands us to write. So please. Now, I will not take the loan from you if you don't trust me. As you like. I'm not accusing you. I'm telling you, this is what my Lord and your Lord ask both of us, so that our rights will be protected and guaranteed. Maybe I will die, so my heirs, my children will know that our father lent this amount to so and so. Maybe you die, so your children will know, oh, our father has debts, we have to clear his debts. So it is protection of mutual rights. He is my sibling, she is my sister. Irrespective. Write it. Document it. Because remember, this hadith teaches us. He sleeps, no amana. Gets up in the morning, no amana in his heart. Even the trace of it is removed. The trace of the amana is removed. The remnant is removed. So keep this in mind. So there will come a day when people will deal in business with each other, but there will hardly be any trustworthy persons among them. Hardly. And they say, you discover the substance of men when you deal with them, with the dirham and dinar. When you make business with them, that's how you discover the reality. How do I know you? If I make business with you, I know, I discover you. Because the dirham and dinar will expose you and show your real substance. Real substance. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab, one day he asked those around him about a person. Do you know this person? Someone said, yes, I know him. He said, did you travel with him? He said, no. Did you deal with him with dirham and dinar? Did you have transaction, business transaction with him? He said, no. Then he told him, you don't know him then. So why do you claim that you know him? Maybe you say that you know him because you saw him praying in the masjid and making few rak'ahs. So you concluded that he is, mashallah, pious, righteous. No, he didn't know the man. If you didn't travel with the man, you didn't deal with him in business, he didn't have business with them, then you don't know the man. So the techniques to discover the reality and the substance of the honest people. Do not be deceived by the appearance. So here, the Prophet is telling us, time will come when you will hardly find a person trustworthy to deal with. La ilaha illallah. Then the Prophet ﷺ, he said, then it will be said that in such and such a tribe, there is such and such person who is honest. La ilaha illallah. That the people, the community, they will say, if you are looking really for an honest person, you'll not find one in our town, but you can find a person in this place. So those who are trustworthy, those who are honest, they become very, very rare. Rare. The rest are thieves, dishonest. You can't find anyone in your town, in your place. Then it will be said that in such and such a tribe, there is such and such person. The person you are looking for, you're not finding in our midst, you're not finding among us. We are all dishonest. But the person who's honest, you can find him in that tribe. Then it will be said that in such and such a tribe, there is such and such person who's honest, and a man will be admired for his intelligence, good manners, and strength, though indeed he will not have belief equal to a mustard seed in his heart. Let us reflect on this. A man will be admired. People, they praise this person. He's intelligent, for his intelligence, good manners, mashallah, and strength. Though indeed he will not have belief equal to a mustard seed in his heart. See the yardstick people use, the standard by which the people judge others. Not the deed, not the deed, not the belief, not the iman. He's intelligent. He's educated. He's PhD holder. He's admired for that. He has good manners. In reality, you don't believe, you don't have good manners. You are a hypocrite. Even when you pretend that you are a gentleman, in reality, you are not a polite man. You are not having good manners. You are just fooling the people. So you pretend that you are a nice guy so that you sell yourself. But in reality, you are not. So the people, he will be admired for his intelligence, good manners, the apparent manners, how he appears. Because some, for example, they say, yeah, though he is an atheist, but he's cute. He's well-mannered, respectful. He talks nicely. That is the secret. That is part of the business. How can he sell himself? How can he capture your attention? How can he impress you if he has bad manners? So he or she has to pretend that he's not different, and maybe his way and behavior may be better than many of those who are believers. They had bad manners, and he is nice, cute, and talks nicely, helpful, etc. That is part of the strategy, the way to fool the people. How can you say that he has good manners when he's saying there is no God? One who has no adab with Allah, how can you say that he has adab? He has zero manners, he has zero adab. What he's doing is only it's part of the business. Because he's a salesman and you are customers, and he is looking for customers. So he should know how to attract you as a customer to atheism, to the kufr. That's why he has to pretend that he is a nice guy. For example, I always give this example. A person who is undutiful, unkind to his parents, he beats them, he insults them, he gives them tough time. But when he's outside his home, oh, nice, gentle, well-mannered. So if you ask anyone in the locality and neighborhood, oh, he is number one. He's good, he's nice, he's unique. But is he? No, because they don't know the reality of this person. Similarly, the atheist, what he harbors in his heart, oh, horrible. So here the Prophet ﷺ said, and a man will be admired for his intelligence. So you are impressed because he is intelligent. What his intelligence will benefit him? If he's intelligent, that intelligence should have led him to the belief of the Creator. How you claim that you are intelligent, and then you say, oh, this creation, you see all this sophisticated machinery, the body, all this complex universe came from nothing, by nothing. Where is your intelligence? Indeed, the animal is more intelligent than you. أولئك كالأنعام بل هم أضل. They are like the cattle. Indeed, they are worse than the cattle. The cow knows Allah. The horse knows Allah. The horse praises Allah. The cow praises Allah. The trees, they praise Allah. Everything praises Allah. ولكن لا تفقهون تسبيحهم. They make tasbih. All trees, the cells of the body of the atheist, they make tasbih. So he's not intelligent. One of the Muslim scholars, he was debating with an atheist, and he told him, you know, what's the purpose of this pen, the pen you have? He said, to write with it. He said, good. How about your specs, your glasses? He said, to help me to see. How about your clothes, to protect myself, to protect my body and cover my body? How about your pair of shoes? He said, to protect my feet. So he said, everything in you has purpose. How about you? He said, nothing, no purpose for me. The pen has purpose, the glasses have a purpose or have a purpose, that pair of glasses. The shoes, they have purpose, and you don't have any purpose? I said, yeah. So then in that case, your pair of shoes better than you. Better than you. In reality, many people choose a pair of shoes better than them. And then their entire existence and intelligence. The intelligence didn't benefit them anything. And a man will be admired for his intelligence and good manners and strength. What that will help you? All this will go, will vanish. Don't you read history? Read history and deduce lessons. You cannot have strength more than the people of Ad who established civilization and cities that Allah described, that there is no resemblance of what they did. Finished. Allah sent just a wind blowing and finished them. You cannot be stronger than the people of Thamud who made dwellings, carved the mountains. The people of Pharaoh, see the pyramids, which is a riddle and mystery for the scientists even today. So, what that strength? Did their strength avail them? No, gone, perished. Then the Prophet said, though indeed he will not have belief equal to a mustard seed in his heart. Has no iman at all. No iman, even equal to the weight of a mustard seed. And the people, they say, he's intelligent, he's well-mannered, and they give him titles. But he is nothing in the sight of Allah. He doesn't weigh anything in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Hudayfa added, there came upon me a time, Hudayfa said, there came upon me a time when I did not mind dealing with any one of you, because I trust you all. For if he was a Muslim, his religion would prevent him from cheating, because he fears Allah. So because his iman, his deen will stop him and prevent him from cheating. If he was a Christian, his Muslim ruler would prevent him from cheating, because he is living under the umbrella of Islam. But today, I cannot deal except with so and so and so and so. Allahu Akbar. This is what Hudayfa radiallahu anhu said. So you can see what happens to the amana in people's hearts. Another hadith. حدثنا أبو اليمان. All the narrations are in Bukhari. حدثنا أبو اليمان أخبرنا شعيب عن الزهري قال أخبرني سالم بن عبد الله أن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما الناس كالإبل المئة لا تكاد تجد فيها راحلة. Narrated Abdullah ibn Umar, I heard Allah's Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم saying, people are just like camels. Out of 100, one can hardly find a single camel suitable to ride. Suitable to ride. This hadith is telling us that towards the end of time, this is what will happen. To find really a person that you can rely on, trust, confide in. So my advice for you, my dear brothers and sisters, choose your friends carefully. Choose them carefully. You have few brothers and sisters, but they are true brothers and sisters. Because the true brother is the one that you really, when you are in trouble, he is there next to you, backing you, helping you. In your absence, he defends you. He covers your faults and mistakes and ignorance and tolerate your ignorance and your foolishness. This is the true brother. So if you have such brother, never lose that brother. If you have such a sister, never lose that sister. A brother, I can confide in him. He is the shoulder I cry on. I don't feel embarrassed in his presence to burst into tears. I don't feel embarrassed because he is my brother. I know him. This is the brother you should have. And you can have only few. Very difficult to find. You'll find hundreds who say, brother, I love you for the sake of Allah. Really? Empty slogan. Talk. We love you, we love you. But when you are placed on the touchstone, where is the true love, brotherhood? Where is it? Where is it? If you read about the Salaf, Ridwanullah alayhim, I think Zayn al-Abidin, he said to those around him, do any one of you puts his hand in the pocket of his brother and takes what he wants, and his brother will not ask him why he did that? He said, no. He said, you're not my brothers. You're not my brothers. One story, one of the Salaf, he came to his brother's house, brother in a swamp. He was in need. So he knocked the door, the servant opened. He said, where is your master? He said, he went out. He said, where is his safe, the safe box where he keeps the valuables? He said, because she knows him. He said, wait. She went, and she opened for him. He picked what he wanted and he left. When her master came, he asked her, did anyone come and ask about me? She told him. He said, your brother so-and-so came and he asked me to bring out your safe, the box, and he opened and he picked what he wanted and he left. He told her, if that's what he did, you are free. He set her free, emancipated her. He felt very happy that his brother considered the money of his brother his money. We don't have that. The scholars, today we receive questions. Can my father take from my salary? Can my father ask me to give him money? My father. What are you talking about? When you and your money all belong to your father. You belong to your father. The Salaf, they mentioned, they said the true brotherhood, that you consider the house and the home of your brother in Islam as yours. So when you visit him, you feel at home. And you sleep with your wife in his house. You visit your brother in Islam as a guest, and they give you a room, so you feel free. So you sleep with your wife in his home, because you don't see any difference. So, my dear brothers and sisters, this hadith tells us about this fact. إنما الناس, you will see many people. Okay. Also, I would like to remind the dua. Do not be impressed by the followers, what you call them fans. Have this number of followers. They are like the scum, the foam. Okay. If something happened to you, they vanish. You will not find anyone standing by you and supporting you. So don't be fooled by this gathering. So here, إنما الناس كالإبل المئة. There are so many. An Arab poet said, ما أكثر الأخوان حين تعدهم. ما أكثر الأخوان حين تعدهم لكنهم في النائبات قليل. Said, how many brothers are there when you count them? There are so many. There are so many brothers when you mention them and you count them. Oh, so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. لكنهم في النائبات قليل. But in reality, when you are in trouble, when you are in need, there are very, very few. Where are my brothers? They are not there. They vanish. لكنهم في النائبات قليل. When you are in need of them, they are not there around you. So this beautiful hadith, إنما الناس كالإبل المئة. This parable teaches us many things. إنما الناس كالإبل المئة. People are just like camels. لا تكاد تجد فيها راحلة. Out of 100 camel, you have one can hardly find a single camel suitable to ride, though you have 100. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with true brothers and sisters. The brotherhood. May Allah instill brotherhood in our hearts and sisterhood. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite our hearts in the haqq. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us remain steadfast on this beautiful deen till we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and find him pleased with all of us. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us our faults and mistakes and ignorance. May Allah unite our ummah in the haqq. Ameen. And may Allah elevate your status, my dear brothers and sisters, in this world and hereafter. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakum Allahu khaira. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh Salim, jazakum Allah khair. What a absolutely heart-moving reminder, my brothers and sisters, so much to benefit from. I pray you took notes. I pray you wrote things down. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Allah is truly the one who guides. Allah is al-Hadi. Sheikh Salim, there's a post from Sheikh Suleiman in America. I read it this morning, and basically there is a gentleman named Brian. He drove from southern Louisiana, quite far away. He drove to his city at Jum'ah, and he joined him for Salatul Jum'ah, and then afterwards spoke to him. And then about an hour after Jum'ah, he took his Shahada. So this man drove. He never knew him before. He was watching his lecture series on the Malaika, and he was reading about the Malaika, watching the YouTube videos of Sheikh Umar about Malaika, and he said that that made him feel spiritual, and he loved knowing that the angels were watching him. So he started saying the dua that Umar mentioned before leaving the house, so the angels would protect him wherever he would go. And eventually he heard about backbiting in those lectures, and he knew them in and out, and he stopped backbiting. These two things this non-Muslim did. He was mindful the Malaika are watching me, and he loved it. And he was mindful of not listening to gossip anymore. And in a short time, these things changed how he felt inside. And he felt, I need to do something about my whole life. I need to completely change. And he drove hundreds of miles to go meet Sheikh Umar to take his Shahada and became Muslim. I just wanted to share that with Sheikh Salim. Such a beautiful story I read this morning.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
We've got some questions. Abdullah, do you know where we left off?
Yeah, I can scroll up here. It should be.
Okay, inshallah. We've got quite a few questions for today as well. We'll try to get through them. Brothers and sisters, just a quick announcement. We are fundraising for the Dawah. We need to prepare for Ramadan, and we need to prepare for Eid al-Fitr. So do make a contribution today. I'm asking everyone to donate at least £100, inshallah. And if you can't, whatever amount you can do, those of us who can, Allah gives us to test us with our wealth to see what we'll do with it. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when you spend upon the path of Allah, there's no fear of poverty. And we know Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us many a hadith about the sin. It washes away the sins like water extinguishing fire. The sadaqah pushes away calamities. The sadaqah brings cures for illnesses. The sadaqah removes all kinds of anxieties. There's so many benefits for it. And I know we all give sadaqah everywhere, but the dawah is starved by Allah. It is starved. The dawah al-fitra for years is struggles because we all, including myself, I'm guilty of it. We see the children of Afghanistan. We see the youngsters in Palestine, other places. We want to donate, and we should. But Allah gave us two hands. One hand, we feed our family and our ummah. The other hand, we work and strive. We have to do both. So, Ikhwan wal Akhawat, I don't know why we have all held back so much the past weeks and weeks. And it's always the same 2-3 sisters and the volunteers ourselves that are always contributing. And everyone, I pray you are benefiting. I'm very happy you all attend, but we need your support, inshallah. And I know some of you have shaitan whispering in your ear, someone else will do it. Well, look at how I don't like speaking this way on behalf of Allah Azza wa Jal. It's not nice, but I'm saying it. If it's this badly a need, means you You need to realize no one else is doing it because you're not doing it. If you don't, no one else. If I don't, no one else is going to do it. So when people ask me every Saturday, every Sunday, my family's got to stop everything to make sure not just us attend the halaqah, but to facilitate for everyone else. Why? Because no one else will. And we have many other halaqahs out there and many much more dawah out there. We're missing out. We need to do more. We can and we should, inshallah. Like you never know where you benefit people. You really don't. And Sheikh Salim, I had another brother message me saying to me how much these halaqat have benefited him outside, separate from live. He still watches and other people watch, and he says that how it benefited him while he was in hospital and how he watched these lectures while he was in hospital. So you just don't know who you're benefiting. And this is all the sadaqah jariyah that might save our skin from the fire in the akhirah. As Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, save your skin and your families from the fire, even if it's by giving just half a date or offering a good word. May Allah accept it from all of you. I pray you come forward, inshallah, and announce it in the group so it encourages other people. And this is not an act of showing off, it's an act of encouragement, and you double and triple and quadruple your rewards. And the angels are waiting to write down who'll be the first one to do that, inshallah. So without further ado, while we're waiting on you to decide and think and speak to your Lord and make istikhara about contributing towards this da'wah, ask Allah Azza wa Jal. He is there to tell you, and shaitan is definitely there to tell you not to. So you have to take that battle inside. Let's begin with the first question, inshallah. Sheikh Salim is waiting. Abdullah, do you want to start?
Okay. Our first question, Sheikh, is asking, I'm home educating two very young children who always want to be outside regularly, going to parks, people's houses to play, etc. I understand the wisdom in trying to stay at home, but find it challenging to meet their energetic and social nature if we stay indoors. Is there guidance on how to balance both home life and social nature of children?
Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the strength to bring up your children and educate them in the way that pleases Allah. Ameen. And may Allah make them pious
Ameen.
children. Ameen.
Ameen.
Our Islam, my dear brothers and sisters, is so balanced, so balanced. Children, they need to sleep, to play, because they are having this energy. Okay, so if a child doesn't play, he will give trouble. He will turn the house upside down, because he has this energy. It has to be vented. It has to be to come out. And the Prophet ﷺ is teaching us that. Once he sent Anas to buy something, Anas was a child. So he found children playing, so he started to play with them. The Prophet ﷺ came from behind him and touched his ear, said, Unais, have you done what I told you? He said, I will do it now. The Prophet smiled. He's teaching us that this is how children behave. Children behave. When children, they see the Prophet ﷺ walking in Medina, they are running, playing. A young girl would come and hold the hand of the Prophet ﷺ to show him something, and he would follow her. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab, he came to a group of the boys playing, and when they saw him, they ran away. As you know, Sayyidina Umar, I think Abdullah ibn Zubayr remained. So here the children are playing of the Sahaba. Children, they have to play. Said, why didn't you run? He said, why should I? I didn't do anything wrong. And the way is not that narrow. So I'd have to make room for you. See? The Prophet ﷺ, he was playing with Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein. Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab, when his governor saw him walking on four and children jumping on his back, He said, what is this? So he was playing with his kids. This is Sayyidina Umar. So he asked the governor, how about you? He said, when I come home, everything comes to standstill. If anyone is standing, sits down, and anyone was talking would become quiet, anyone sleeping would sit down. I said, really? I said, yes. I said, you're not a governor anymore because you don't have rahmah in your heart towards your own children. How can I expect you to have rahmah, mercy towards your subjects? So this is our Islam. So yes, you have to take your children out to the park to make them play, and you can play with them. The father can play with his kids. Okay. You can, over the weekend, you take your family to the countryside, you camp, you hike, whatever. This is our Islam. Our Islam is balanced. Room for everything. Room for everything. The Prophet ﷺ is teaching us. When he was coming from one of the military expeditions and he told the army to go, and he stayed behind with Aisha, and he raced with Aisha. What he is trying to tell us, there is room for entertainment. Okay? So Islam is a way of life. It's so beautiful, so simple. So yes, you can take the children, they can play before Maghrib and Isha. Between Maghrib and Isha, no. Because shayateen they play. So we take our children inside. So this hadith is it is so explicit that children they play. But between Maghrib and Isha, you stop them. So take your children and let them play, bring out this energy in the right manner. That's why we are taught to teach our children swimming, horse riding, and archery. As Sayyidina Umar said, some people, they think it is hadith. No, this is the saying of Sayyidina Umar, where he said, teach your children horse riding, swimming, and archery. I hope this is clear to the questioner. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and bless your children. Ameen.
Ameen, ameen, ameen. Jazakumullah khair, Sheikh Salim. And there's a lot of families that are homeschooling their children. And one of the things I really love about how they include other education is by taking them on field trips, going places. And it's not just always a classroom and a book. A lot of children really benefit by spending the day with dad at work or a week at work, and they just see what kind of world is out there. We're climbing a mountain even. Just giving you an example, there's loads of things that can be done. May Allah reward all those families that are struggling to raise the future pious generation, inshallah. Abdullah, so that question was answered. That's a comment, that's not a question. Okay, Bismillah. Sheikh Salim, the next question is about a female is asking if she has sexual thoughts and emits money during her prayer, then does she have to perform ghusl even if she does not recall feeling any pleasure? This has been happening more recently when she prays.
Would you mind? Spots of what? The blood?
No. This is the liquid from sexual desire. So she has the thoughts. When she has the thoughts, and sometimes this creates the fluid, and she feels it while she's praying. I don't believe, she hasn't stipulated, I do not believe it's the full ejaculation thing. It's just the money that comes before. Well, Allah knows best, but she is struggling with the fluids that are released when the thoughts are in her mind.
Okay. Before I answer this question, my advice for those who are married and those who are not married. Remember how the shaitan accesses our hearts. through two ways: doubts, shubuhat. Remedy is ilm. Shahawat, desires, lust. Remedy, fear of Allah, taqwa, iman. Try to avoid whatever will trigger your desire. Keep yourself busy, keep yourself engaged in dhikr, istighfar. Because the moment you start to entertain such thoughts, to fantasize about intimacy, your body, the chemistry reacts. Your body reacts to such thoughts. So then the secretion that happens, because this is the result of that reaction. So you don't watch movies, you don't listen to stories, you don't write love stories or novels or romantic stories, because these things, they will be internalized and the body will react accordingly. As the Prophet said, وَالْفَرْجُ يُصَدِّقُ ذَلِكَ أَوْ يُكَذِّبَهُ. The private part will approve of it or disapprove of it. الْعَيْنُ تَزْنِي. The eye commits zina. And the zina of the eye, the adultery committed by the eye, is looking to the haram. So if you see something that will affect your body, and then the body will react. Having said this, so you avoid anything that will trigger your desire, especially, okay, whether you are married or not, but those who are not married, try to ward off these thoughts, both of sisters, married and married, you ward off the evil thoughts. But the married one, she has a husband. She can fulfill her biological needs. But the one who is not married, he has a problem. And having said this, the married ones, just in the same way, the husband asks her to come to bed. If she's in need, she can ask her partner. Okay? So the rights are mutual. Now, having said this, the natural discharge, there are something called natural discharge, which is always women, they have this liquid coming out. Now, this liquid that is naturally coming out all the time, will that break the wudu? That's one point. Second thing, is it najis, impure, or is it pure? Well, here there are different opinions among Muslim scholars. Some consider it breaks one's wudu, because it comes from one of the natural openings. And whatever comes through via any of the natural openings, the private part or the anus, breaks the wudu. And this comes from the private part. So this is their argument based on this. So they say this natural flow breaks one's wudu. And because it came from the same place that urine comes through, so it is najis. So this is one opinion. So if you come across this opinion, some scholars, they hold that opinion. The other opinion says, if it is so excessive and a lot, some women, they have this. She just took wudu and still is there. And now she is praying and it is flowing and coming out. They say no. it will not nullify her salah. Her wudu is valid. She can carry on praying. It is just like a woman who's having istihada, continuous bleeding. The same thing. Let's say she is making tawaf, and this is coming out. If we tell her you have to go and take wudu, she will do this many times. So if she is having this excessive flow of natural fluid, she just ignores, and she can put a pad and continue, and her salah is correct, like the one who's having istihada, this continuous bleeding. As you know, one of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, she was in the masjid with the Prophet ﷺ in Ramadan, in i'tikaf, and she had istihada, and she was in the masjid praying, and she placed a pot, utensil, and beneath her, and the blood is dropping in that, collected in that pot, of that utensil, in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ, and she was praying. So she will be treated like a woman who's having istihada. How about the nature? Is it najis? This natural flow, or is it pure? If it is najis, that it touched her clothes, and then she prayed, should she repeat the salah? If we say it is najis, yes. But the strongest opinion, it is not najis, because it is not coming from the bladder. It is coming through the uterus. So it is not najis. And her salah is correct, and that garment which got some drops on it, yeah, you wash it, but it's not najis. And this is based on the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, when she said the Prophet ﷺ, he would pray in his garment that it has stains of semen. And the scholars said, during the intercourse, man's fluid and woman's fluid are mixed. So these stains, they have traces of the fluid of the woman. And the Prophet ﷺ did not say it is najis. He didn't say. And women, this is something common among all women. Had it been najis, the Prophet ﷺ would have told the women, oh women, be careful. The natural discharge is najis, but he didn't say that. So anyone to come and claim that it is najis, he has to come with concrete, explicit evidence. Saying that it is coming from the same opening is not a proof. Because first of all, it's not coming from the bladder physiologically. And not everything that comes from one of the natural openings is najis. How about the gas, the wind? It comes through the anus. Is it najis? No. The wind is not najis. The gas is not najis. Otherwise, when you release gas, go and wash your clothes. Though it came through one of the openings. So coming to the question of the sister, if this is not semen, it's not many, and the many will be associated with the, with the certain feeling. Women, they know that when they get orgasms, okay, or climax. Okay. So if this is just the natural flow, it is not najis, and you continue your salah, and the salah is correct. I hope this is clear to the questioner.
Inshallah, and if you wish to ask further questions, you can. The sister has said that she feels it's money, even though she did not feel any pleasure. But on the second point, she did say there's an additional liquid, which is the maddi. The maddi usually comes majority of the time during istinja, wudu, and almost always during the prayers. I think you've already covered that also now as well.
See, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying the many of women, women should know this. It is yellowish. Yellowish. That is the many of women. Okay? So if it is just something coming out without feeling, you just treat it like istihada and you ignore it. You just take wudu before you pray and that's it.
Jazakum Allah khair, Sheikh Salim. Sheikh, assalamu alaikum. My father has purchased house or property for residential purposes for a lot of money. He has to, 5 million rupees or something like that. He has to pay 2 million after 2 years on completion of construction. Currently, we are staying on renting. His question is whether the amount of 2 million to be paid after 2 years to be considered for paying zakat, since that amount is to be paid for the house later. So is there zakat on the 2 million that he's waiting for 2 years to pay towards that house?
And this will be the last question, inshallah. The zakah, when it is time for the zakah, you see the amount of money you have. This money is allocated for that, for buying that lot of land, but the payment is not due yet. So yes, you have to give the zakah. Irrespective, this money is allocated for the marriage, for the fees, for at that moment, you calculate what you have and you give the zakah. And this is the best thing for a Muslim, and you will be on the safe side. Is this clear to the questioner?
I pray it is, and if it's not, please follow up with additional questions. Sheikh Salim, did I hear you say that was the last question?
Yes.
Okay, inshallah. Sorry, everyone. We will come back and resume with questions next week, inshallah, on Saturday. Sheikh Salim, since the topic was about amana, I will send you this picture now. This sister has shared this with everyone in the group. And it's basically of a Palestinian family, I believe. And this is back in the day when the 100 plus years ago, when the British Empire fought the Ottomans in Nablus. The Ottoman soldiers entrusted a Palestinian family with some money during that war. The soldiers never returned. And the money is still with that family, and that family has claimed it online. And they're showing that if a child of those soldiers can prove it's them and come for it, that amana is still with that family. And there's a picture he's holding up the money from back in those days. And I'm really glad she shared it, but I wanted to share that with you as well. The importance of amana and how Muslims in the most unexpected places, their hearts, mashallah, the iman is there. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless you, Sheikh Salim, for that beautiful, important lecture on the importance of amana and the importance of what it does to the heart. Sheikh Salim, we look forward to next week, inshallah, and the final thoughts and words are with you, inshallah.
Barakallah feekum, jazakumullah khair. May Allah bless you, bless your family, protect you, protect your family. Until we meet, inshallah, in the coming session, I leave you in Allah's company and protection. Bihifdhillah wa ra'ayatihi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullah khair, Sheikh Salim. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Remember us in your dua, inshallah. Ikhwan wal akhawat, what a beautiful reminder from Sheikh Salim. It was, mashallah, heart-moving. And I pray you all benefited. So if you have any feedback, my brothers and sisters, I'm going to ask you, is anyone going to step forward and pledge £100 today? There's about 20 of you still here. And it'd be really nice if you guys really struggled with us. Make the effort with the brothers and sisters. If you love something, stand by it. If you love something that is beautiful, support it and show you love it. Because it doesn't just support the sheikh, the du'at, the volunteers as, look, you have money now, so you can do this and you can buy those books and you can arrange that event. It also shows your love. It also shows we're on the right track. It encourages these people, these team members, to do more for you, for the community, not just for you, but for the tens of thousands of people that don't even know about this group because many of you haven't shared it with them. It's about us spreading the word. A little, you have these videos of a little pussycat jumping around or a cake being baked in the kitchen. They go viral, and it just shows the level of intelligence of our ummah, of the people. It shows where they are. And alhamdulillah, it's no judgment. It's just we need to make that effort to reach out to them. So you don't know who I know. I don't know who you know. We need to make that effort. And it starts with you, not them. It starts with me and you. You can't expect people to just turn up on their own. You have to help them come. You have to encourage them towards da'wah. And at the same time, the support, the financial support, it's not going to fall out the sky. It is. It is going to fall out the sky, but into your pockets. It's in your pockets. It's in your bank account. Your debit card, you buy a chocolate bar with and a cup of coffee with every day. You could contribute 1 cup of coffee to the dawah every day. You won't go broke because that money fell out the sky into your account. It comes from Allah, literally. Allah is Ar-Razaq. He provides for you and I. So why is it that all of you stay quiet every Saturday and Sunday when it comes to this point where I say, hey, let's do something together? Is it that you don't believe in this? Is it that you don't think it's good? Let's call a spade a spade. I mean, enough of the beating around the bush. We need your support. We need your help. Not just the finances, but to show that you really do care. You want this to grow. You're not just taking from wherever you get. Free knowledge doesn't really benefit much. Unless someone sacrifices pain and struggles, and then they cry out to Allah and someone gives them a hadith, they'll never forget it. But someone who's just luxuriously comfortable in life and have our devices and we're just living life and we take hadith and we hear hadith, it goes in one ear, out the other. It is when you spend upon it that it solidifies. Why else do you think ulama today charge for their Islamic courses and Islamic events? They don't want the money. It doesn't go to them. It pays for the venues. It pays for the materials. But they charge because so that the people paying know they value something. You pay for university courses, 10 grand a year. People pay for seminars, £500-600, or for at least £100 dinner with your friends, or something like that. You spend all the time. This is what we need to spend upon, not need. It's not Allah or the dawah that needs. It's us to show Allah we really believe in this. Because look at how much money right now in America we're spending on the Super Bowl alone. A football being thrown around, a ball being tossed around by men knocking each other out. Sports and fun is fun in sports, fine. But aside from that, we pay billions of dollars around the world to watch men throw a ball around and knock each other senseless. It shows the level of our intelligence. And while we're entertained by that, people are spending on alcohol and food and whatever. We have a lot of work to do. People don't know what you and I know, and we don't know enough yet. We have a lot more to learn. But Allahu Akbar, I am ashamed in front of my Lord that I'm always extending this on behalf of the Dawah of Al-Fitra, on his behalf. I say to you, encourage you, sign up, volunteer, become members, do something yourself. There's only one sister, may Allah forgive me, she's waiting for me to respond to her. There's only one sister that has stepped up and said, I want to do this. And the rest of the brothers and sisters, I think there's about 3 that have actually regularly contributed a small amount, best they can. What are the rest of us doing? What are you doing? How is this penetrating our hearts? And by Allah, some of us are even saying, but I contribute here and there. No. That is not how it works. You don't go to a restaurant, eat food and say, don't worry, I bought groceries. They're in the fridge. I don't need to pay you. It's not how it works. Allah did not create us this way. The believers are not stingy, but they can be foolish. They can be misguided and distracted. We need to focus, ikhwan wal akhawat. If you and I don't make these differences, if we don't step forward, even people look at me, Jalal, you're so motivating, mashallah, or you motivate and inspire. I don't need compliments, nor do I wish for them. But by Allah, I also get motivated. I also get inspired by you. When you attend and you sit and listen and you write these questions, they inspire me. They make me think, I'm doing something right. Look, it's benefiting. And when you step up and say, I'm going to spend upon this project, or I'm going to volunteer and be there for you guys, then I really feel like I have a jamaat around me. I think I've said enough. May Allah bless you all. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next Saturday, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
سبيل الدموع سبيل مريح